Hello friends, welcome. Friends, I just saw this headline. D.O.T mulls fresh spectrum terms of surrender, a move that will allow Vodafone Idea save rupees 40,000 crores. Now, when I saw this, I actually got a little bit skeptical and therefore I started analyzing. Not from the point of view of this news item. This news item might be accurate, but I got skeptical because if a company has to return or surrender spectrum, what kind of impact that it will have on the company's ability to carry out its normal business and be competitive. Because theoretically Vodafone Idea has huge amount of debt and roughly around 65% of the debt is related to spectrum. They can theoretically return 65% of 2.02 lakh crores to the government. Now, if they return all their spectrum to the government, then they will not be able to run their business. So, theoretically, it may sound that 40,000 crores of spectrum return can enable Vodafone Idea to, reduce their debt outstanding to the government. But whether it is practically possible or not, that's all we are going to investigate in this video, right? So, we are going to go step by step. First thing we are going to look at is that how much debt Vodafone Idea has with respect to spectrum for various years. So this is the extract of the annual statement of Vodafone Ideas from outstanding on 31st March 2024. So if you look at it, fortunately, Vodafone Idea has been very transparent and they have given us broken down by spectrum auction all the debt, and that includes AGR judgment also. And if you add all these outstanding, it stands out to be around 2.02 lakh crores. And by the current, in the next financial year, which is basically going to end in 31st March 2025, I think this number will become 2.1 lakh crores. That will be the rough number. But we will go with this number because this is the only number that we have, because we don't have the visibility of the current number, because the annual report will come later. So let's look at this. Now, the current rule of spectrum surrender is restricted to the spectrum which has been acquired before 2022. So these are the spectrum, right, which cannot be returned. Only thing, the spectrum which has been returned is these spectrum, right, which is basically only for year 2022, which is a very small amount, right? It is 16k crores, right? So theoretically, if the government of India gives the Vodafone Idea a ability to return spectrum from November 2012 till to March 2021, so let's do a simple calculation and see what kind of just a minute, let me just go back again and see this, and I'll just do a sum here, and it comes out to be around 1.16 lakh crores. So if you add everything together, it comes out to be 1.16 lakh crores. So from this 1.16, so let's add the August 2022 spectrum also, it comes out to be 1.32 lakh crores. So of the 1.32 lakh crores, it is estimated that 40k crores of spectrum that can be somehow saved by returning spectrum. So now, whether Vodafone Idea can return spectrum or not is what we are going to investigate for these spectrum auctions, right? So let's go and look at the Vodafone Idea's quarterly statement. And fortunately, in the quarterly statement, Vodafone Idea captures a table which has official numbers of spectrum auction in various spectrum bands. You can see right in front of you, and you can go and look at this. There is no problem. So why I'm showing you this? The reason I'm showing you this is that this map tells us that what kind of leverage that Vodafone Idea has to return spectrum. And in order to understand that, we have to understand that which spectrum band Vodafone Idea needs for what purpose. That's what we're going to understand. Now, let's start from the extreme right. 26 gigahertz band. Now 26 gigahertz, and people may say it's a useless spectrum, let Vodafone Idea return this spectrum. Maybe yes, it may return, and we will quantify that how much amount of money that Vodafone Idea will save by returning 26 gigahertz band spectrum. But this spectrum is useful because without this spectrum, Vodafone Idea cannot reduce their SUC. Because whatever SUC reduction was possible was because of 26 gigahertz band spectrum, because the quantum of spectrum is pretty large and the weights of all these bands are equal in nature. So when you do a weighted average calculation, because 26 gigahertz band has a attachment of 0 SUC. So without this spectrum, your SUC charges are going to increase. So maybe the Vodafone Idea may want to increase SUC charges, but does it even make sense from a DCF calculation to return 26 gigahertz band spectrum? Because it is a very minor spectrum, right? It does not have much value, right? So that's one. Second thing is 33 gigahertz band spectrum. This is a 5G spectrum. Now, Vodafone Idea, if they want to abandon their plan for deployment of 5G, they might as well return this spectrum. They may, but I don't think that makes sense, because 33 gigahertz band is a very important spectrum, and without this spectrum you cannot roll out 5G, right? So we need to have 33 gigahertz band spectrum to roll out 5G. Then let's talk about the FDD spectrum bands. These are very important. Now, why FDD is very important spectrum? Because FDD is used to deploy basic technologies. Without basic technologies, Vodafone Idea's bread and butter business is not going to run. So we have got 900 megahertz band, we have got 1800 megahertz band, and we have got 2100 megahertz band, right? Now 900 megahertz band, Vodafone Idea might be using for 4G and maybe some 2G, right? And then the 2100 megahertz band can also be used for 4G. There is no question of any 2G, and 3G probably Vodafone Idea might have dismantled, or there might be some 3G somewhere else, I don't know. 1800 megahertz is a 4G spectrum band, and Vodafone Idea might be using this for 2G. Now, from a long-term perspective, one may argue that 2G can be abandoned, but short-term they can't, right? But 4G is not going to go away. Everybody knows that. So, Vodafone Idea will need at least the 2100 megahertz band, right, for deployment of 4G. Why I am saying this? Because 2100 megahertz band is a band where 4G can be deployed and meaningful network can be created with a carrier aggregation with 900 megahertz band if they have deployment 4G, and their quality of 4G will be pretty good. So you have got 900 megahertz band and you have got 2100 megahertz band, and you can create a very, very solid network. Now 1800 megahertz band, they have got a lot of spectrum, you see. Now this spectrum, they can actually do a carrier aggregation with 3300 megahertz spectrum to have a very robust 5G network. Because without the 1800, without the mid-band spectrum, Vodafone Idea's 5G network will never be competitive. You will never think of having a competitive, because 3300 megahertz is not a very good spectrum for carpet to carpet coverage. You need the 1800 megahertz band, just like Bharti is doing today. Bharti is basically supplementing, and going forward they might convert the 1800 megahertz band also for 5G, so that you have a mid-band which has a better coverage, and then you have a capacity band which is 3300. So 3300 and 1800 is going to be required for them to do 5G if they want to compete with the other operators. So they really cannot return it. So if they can't return 1800, they can't return 3300, right? They can't return 2600, they can't return 900, they can't return 1800. So what is that they are going to return? 2300. Okay, let them return 2300 and 2500. Now, after having understood the structure of spectrum, which spectrum band is required for what services, what leverage Vodafone Idea has to return spectrum, let's look at the overall spend on a band basis which Vodafone Idea has done. Then only we will be able to understand that how much money will get saved if a particular spectrum band has been returned. So I am going to take you to one of my charts which I have just prepared. So this chart is giving you what? Band wise spend of Vodafone Idea. Band wise, right? So if you look at this chart, you will see here that I have got 900 megahertz band, 1800 megahertz band, 2100 megahertz band, 2300 megahertz band, 25, 35, 2600 megahertz band. And here you will see these are all totals, which are column totals, and these are all row totals, and the grand total, the total spend Vodafone Idea in all auction has been 1.64 lakh crores, right? Correct? So that's all it is. Now you can see that in the 900 megahertz spectrum band, Vodafone Idea has spent around 68.35 thousand crores, which is 68k crores. 1832k crores, 2133k crores, 2388 crores, 2512k crores, 3515k crores, and 2600 roughly around 2k crore. So there is no point if they return 2600. I told you that it will not create much impact, and they will basically have a huge problem on their SUC. The SUC charges are going to go up. So 2k crores nowhere comes close to 40k crores. So this return does not make sense. They might return 2500, makes sense, right? And they might return 23. But if you add this two together and the total amount of years that are left out, right? For because this is the total spend, and this has undertaken amortization. So you will not be able to get the same amount of money from the government, because when did Vodafone Idea took 2500? So let's see which year Vodafone Idea has taken 2500. That will give us a sense. So you see here 2500 they have taken mostly they have taken in year 2016. See, 2016 is the year, and then maybe 2018. No, not 2018. Sorry, not 2018. 2021 and 22. So 2500, it comes out to be around 12.392 crores, and if I add all the years, it comes out to be nothing much, 12.52k crores. So Vodafone Idea has acquired 2500 in the year 2016, 2021, 22, 24. If I add all this together, 20. So roughly 2016 onwards. So you can say that maximum quantum of 2500 was acquired in 2016. So let's say that in 2016, roughly around 12 years of expiry has happened. Means 12 years are still left, for the spectrum. So you can say that 12 divided by 20 means the spectrum, the 60% value of this is still left. So 6.6 multiplied by 0.6 multiplied by 12 roughly around, you can say that it is 14k, right? So no, how much it is? 12, 0.6. Sorry, I'm sorry. Or 12 multiplied by 0.6, it comes out to be 7. So 7.2k of worth outflow, maybe some interest and here and there, they will be able to save by returning 2500. So 7.2k crores, and this is nothing. So let's assume 8k crores, right? So 8k crores is done. So they can't return 3500, they can't return 2600, they can't return 2100, they can't return 1800, they can't return 900. So what is that they are going to return? Only 25 to 2.5 gigahertz band. So you can understand that there is no flexibility for Vodafone Idea to return any spectrum, because 900 is the most important spectrum band. And let me just go and again take all the years so that you can understand where the maximum spend. So let me do one more thing. Let me just take you through one chart which will give you on a circle by basis that how much outflow Vodafone Idea has undertaken in various years in different spectrum band. So if you see here in year 2010, Vodafone Idea has spent, just a minute, this is again okay, let me just take Vodafone Idea here, Vodafone and then Idea, and then I'll just take k crores. So you'll see here that in 2010, 2100 megahertz band, Vodafone Idea has spent 11.62k crores, right? And then in 2012, when hardly anything has been spent, though this is mostly 1800 megahertz band, nothing has been spent. And then in 2014, they have spent in 900 megahertz spectrum 11k crores, 1800 around 8.3 crores. Total is around 20k crores. And then in 2500, in year 2015, they spent around 21.23k crores in 900 megahertz spectrum, right? And then rest is very, very small. And then in 2016, there's very small quantum in 1800, and then they spend around 800, around 7.22k crores and 9.22k crores for 2500. And then rest is very, very marginal, and they spend around 15k crores in 3500. So friends, what do you make out of this, right? This is the amount of money they spend, and I'll take you through one more chart which will give you an year-wise spend. As you know, that most of the spectrum that they acquired, Vodafone Idea 900, they have acquired in year 2014 and 15, and you can see that This is the most valuable spectrum Vodafone Idea has. 2014, 30k crores, 2015, 56k crores. And then let's get back to this chart. What is that Vodafone Idea is going to return here? Let me ask you this. Does it make any sense if Vodafone Idea wants to remain competitive? They can't retain any of the 900 megahertz spectrum band because of the reason I told you, that they need 2G as well as 4G, right? For that, they need at least two band, 900 and 2100, and maybe they can get rid of this 2300 and 2500, right? But they need this 900 and 2100 in order to actually compete with the other players, and the 1800 and 3300. So there is no way Vodafone Idea can return any spectrum because it doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense, right? So friends, that's all I wanted to cover in this video. That from a competitive point of view, spectrum return is a bad idea. It does not give any benefit to Vodafone Idea in the terms of their ability to reduce their overall debt to the government, because the maximum debt is on account of 1800 and 900 megahertz spectrum, which are extremely crucial spectrum for them to remain competitive. And the 5G spectrum also they cannot return, because otherwise they will not have any way to deploy any 5G network. So friends, thank you for your time, friends. I hope that you have understood why it is important for Vodafone Idea to keep their spectrum. And this return of spectrum is not a good idea. It is not going to solve any problem. Only way it can solve the problem is to basically take out this AGR judgment thing, totally 70k crores, and give more leeway to Vodafone Idea to either defer their payment of this spectrum debt, or the government converts their spectrum to equity progressively with time. That's all is the solution. There is no other solution that I can see in sight for Vodafone Idea to remain alive and remain in business and keep the competitive dynamics of the market, stable, so that the consumers' interests are protected. Thank you very much, friends, for your time. I'll come back with a new video next time.